Hello garden lovers! Today I am at the iconic Sunken Gardens in St. Petersburg, Florida, where we get to talk to the Horticultural Supervisor Sean Farrell to discover this lush tropical oasis in the middle of, some would say, a concrete jungle. So let's meet Sean and find out more and dive into this garden. Hi, Sean.
Hey.
Welcome to Over the Fence.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. First of all, can we get a kind of an overview of like where we are in the world, like what zone, and are we in the subtropics or?
Yeah, we're a subtropical garden. We are zone 10B. We're right close by the coast of Tampa Bay. We're Pinellas County, where St. Pete is on a peninsula, so we have the Gulf on one side and we have the bay on the other, and we're really close to the bay. So yeah, we have some insulation that the water provides for warmth during the winter. So yeah, we have a nice subtropical garden. So the garden was started about 100 years ago, and he started with fruit trees and edible plants, and then George Turner Sr. started to plant some palms, and he planted some of the royal palms behind us. Some of the royal palms are 80 feet, 70, 80 feet tall.
Wow.
And those were planted by him like around 100 years ago. And so he had this garden, maybe in selling fruits, papayas, bananas. And then they opened the garden as Sunken Gardens in the 40s. Mm-hmm. And then they, brought in some of the different tropical plants here.
That's awesome, and I love the family legacy and that the family just kind of kept it going.
Yeah.
Like that's so inspiring.
Currently, it's owned by the city of St. Petersburg. And yeah, they chose to save this garden, as at one time the property was actually up for sale, and the city purchased the property through a vote to save the garden. So,
wow, so
yeah.
the people voted, and it was a tax increase, right?
Yeah.
That they were willing to pay to
Mm-hmm.
save this place. So,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a roadside attraction, right, in the beginning?
Yeah, it was advertised and promoted even in northern states on billboards. As a place to come in the wintertime, like it is now, to enjoy the oasis, the tropical garden.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I'd love to see some of the plants. And is this, what do you call this main entryway?
This is our Fountain Plaza.
Okay.
And it's really a great overlook of the gardens, and one of the main features of it is the royal palms, and this is our palm overlook here. And we have not only royals, we have some coconut palms there, and we have a nice triangle palm that is that nice silver color there. The area is also planted as somewhat kind of I thought of a cliff, so we have aloes here. There's also some snake plant, the Sansevieria.
Oh yeah.
That's over there. Behind us is a cliff date palm.
So this is kind of more of a cliff ecosystem that you've kind of created.
Mm-hmm. What you also see at Sunken Gardens is house plants that get really big here outdoors.
Yeah, houseplants gone wild.
Yeah.
Come to Florida for that.
Yes. Yeah, we can take a look over here by the pond where we have some anthuriums. You know, are one of the aroid plants. There's a lot of aroids that are house plants. The philodendron.
Okay.
At the aglaomia, the peace lilies. So down here is a big anthurium.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
pretty
an air plant.
Pretty massive.
So, but it
anthurium.
has taken root in the soil. It looks like.
They're epiphytic plants.
Uh huh.
A lot of them. So they grow on trees. That's something else that we have. Like this staghorn fern here is a epiphytic fern.
Yeah. Okay.
Growing on this crepe myrtle tree.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a nice combo with the bark of the crepe myrtle and the fern fronds. That is beautiful.
Yeah. And the crepe myrtle provides a good shelter for this bromeliad, and this is a terrestrial bromeliad, a very tropical plant. This is an imperial bromeliad.
Okay. It is a very regal looking plant.
Yeah, like all bromeliads, once they flower, they die. They're monocarpic.
Oh.
So someday we'll see a big flower spike on this. And that'll be the end of it, and we get some pups at the bottom.
Okay.
That will grow off the bottom.
About how old would you say this is? Do you know?
I would think it's at least 10 years old.
And it's providing. I mean, look at the water in there. What a little home for creatures it provides.
And most of the time, when you look in the tank here, where it collects water and its nutrients is from the tank, and you'll see a frog in there most of the time.
Oh,
Cuban.
I think maybe. Hello. I don't know.
Maidenhair fern just adds a nice touch to the waterfall. Water lilies in there. I mean, it's January and we still have a water lily in there.
Is there one in flower?
And no flowers right now. They do go dormant in the winter time. Mm-hmm. Along the back is a giant leaf begonia back there.
Oh my gosh, that's that one right there?
Yeah.
Wow. Of the tropical gardens that I've just seen pictures, like it's so easy to just kind of have the big leaf shape and have that repeated over and over. And you guys have just done such a good job with making such a contrasting textures and sizes.
Yeah.
And so it's really exciting to be here and see that.
It's important for me to do, some intentional plant placement so visitors to the garden can see the different stuff we have.
Yeah. And what is this one called? I just love the purple that it adds.
These are tea plants.
Okay.
So yeah, they come. There's so many different hybrids with different leaf shapes and different leaf colors. This area right over here, we is a seasonal bed that we change out for. We had a fall display. We just recently took down our Christmas display, so it gets switched up for those things, and we can plant this for the summer. And
yeah, I've definitely seen this in a lot of houseplants for sale in Oregon.
Yeah.
So, what's the name of that one?
That is Dragon's Tail Alocasia.
Oh, okay. Very beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those are gold dust crotons there with a speckled leaf.
Oh, okay.
Crotons are another plant that is hybridized a lot, so there's quite a few different, and we have dozens of different hybrid crotons in our garden.
Okay, and you might see that as a hedge plant, I would imagine, here in Florida a lot.
Yep.
That's beautiful.
Yep.
Yeah, add a nice splash of color.
I think it tends to get overused in places, but using it as a pop of color here and there is something. Yeah.
That's how barberry is for us. It's definitely overused, but used correctly, it's astounding. Yeah.
We can walk down into the garden. Our garden is made inside of an ancient sinkhole.
Okay.
So at one time, this was a shallow pond.
Oh, that must
it's-
create an interesting microclimate.
We have container plants. Container plants help us to be able to have plants that need good drainage, because in some places in our garden, since it's so low lying, it collects water. We have root issues. So container plants, well, we like to use those.
You put the potted plant back in the pot.
Yeah.
But you still have the giant specimens too.
Yeah, definitely.
And did you have any damage from the storm?
We did. We had a few trees uproot again. When we don't have good drainage, we have shallow rooted plants. So yeah, we had some trees uproot.
But it still looks incredibly lush. Did you
Yeah.
try to flip them back? And
We did.
Really?
We did. We have them propped up.
That's so cool that you
yeah.
can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and these palms just add such a beautiful just bone effect with their color and their smoothness.
Yeah.
The bones of the garden.
Yeah. Yeah. And I always remind guests to make sure you look up, because you miss half the landscape here if we're just looking at the
Right.
the understory stuff. But the palms really take over up there.
So what do we call this section here?
This is our Oak Pavilion. This is one of the hubs of the garden. So there's, paths that lead off in the different areas. And our big specimen, southern live oak, right in the middle, is a native Florida plant. So we have a handful of live oaks in here that were here before the garden was thought about.
Wow.
So this one here is probably a couple hundred years old, and we have the epiphytes growing on it, the bromeliads, and we have our monastera vine, and that again, yeah, that's one that we think about when you see that's that tropical look.
My husband's parents are from Florida, and so every time I come here, I'm just astounded by these live oaks.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that the fathers of the garden had the foresight to leave it here.
Yeah.
But you don't see them planted up like this, and so that's something that you guys have obviously.
Yeah. Now those were planted here, but we do have native resurrection fern, and when you come in the garden after it's rained, the resurrection fern just comes to life. Now, right now we don't see it on the branch so much. But it's
Is it right there
withered.
next to the light?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's withered right now, but it doesn't matter how long we've gone without rain. Once it does, it springs right back to life. Another live oak behind it, just massive structural piece to the garden. Behind us is an old man palm.
I love that.
Yeah, so with every new leaf that the palm gets, you get more of those fibers that come and add hair to the trunk of the old man palm.
Oh.
So it adds
That
really
is
nice
so
texture
cool.
to
Does
the
it-
area too.
Does it get taller than this?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get about 10 feet tall.
Okay. What a cool plant. And then is this a bulb right here that we're seeing? this flower?
Yeah, that's an Amazon lily. So
Oh.
yeah, so those flowers, they don't last long, and we don't have a whole lot of them, so it's a good time to see that right now. You know, there is a slope to the garden that goes in that way, and if we can head over and this through here,
Okay.
and we'll kind of start to head down that slope and
Okay.
see how it progresses.
Wow, the monstera is just crazy.
Yeah, it's like a curtain here.
And so what's going on with these? Is this the actual seed
yeah,
head?
Yeah, so the common name, Mexican breadfruit. So that's the fruit of Monstera. It'll turn white as it ripens, and I hear it's really good.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's edible. We have a large cycad here. You know, cycads they're like an ancient plant. Some cycads were around in Jurassic period.
Oh, wow. Yeah, they definitely have that look, especially that one.
Yeah.
Do you know how
Yes.
old that one is?
That one is probably around 70 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because they grow really slowly, right?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, so we want to preserve our cycads, and this one in particular gets Asian cycad scale.
Oh, okay. That's what we're seeing on the bark.
Yeah, how the bark is cracking there. That's from the scale insect getting inside.
Oh.
So that's something that we have to treat. I really like the river fig here. It's a ficus.
Oh.
It's a low-growing shrub, I would say.
Okay.
But really has that glossy leaf, and it's just one that
Yeah.
it never has a bad day here. So over here is the native swamp twin flower. So we're getting into a more, as we go down the slope here,
Oh.
get into a more wetter area. So, and behind us we have the traveler's palms.
Yeah, that's just so cool how they're just kind of one-dimensional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're related to bird of paradise. So they get that flower.
Oh.
A very high maintenance plant.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fertilizer
Yes.
and water and
Pruning.
pruning.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
big leaves, messy plant.
Okay, not for the faint of heart.
And it's not very wind tolerant. So with our hurricane that we had come through just a few months ago, it would snapped off a lot of leaves on our traveler's palms clump.
Okay, but it looking so lush now, so that really
Yeah.
speaks to the
Very fast
fertility
grower.
and the humidity and the warmth here.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Cute. So much in flower. So you were saying that even that in the middle of summer is kind of the height, but also this is another height of the garden in terms of what's looking good.
Actually the middle of the summer, we do get some of the more tropical plants that would be in flower, but a lot of things, our plants are really slowing down, and we get less flowers on hibiscus, and some other things. We might be able to see some angel trumpet behind us.
Oh my gosh!
This is one of the lower spots in our garden here. So all of our rainwater in irrigation that we have on the upper side, it kind of all flows in here and settles in the middle. So a lot of times we turn off our irrigation down in the low spots, and we'll keep it going to the top. So over here we have our fern garden area. So some native ferns, cinnamon fern.
Oh.
These are dwarf tree ferns.
Oh, cool.
Right there. And next to it is longstrap fern, which is a Florida native.
Oh.
And this would be at its northern range. So yeah, we're right at Black Bridge right now, which is one of the most photographed spots right there.
Okay.
You have guests that would stand on the bridge and get their picture taken from down here.
Yeah, I can see
nice
why.
little waterfall there.
And some really cute little ferns growing there as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. Up the sable palm here is that's African climbing fern.
Oh, okay.
So it's making its way up that tree there.
Very cool.
And below it is Florida native leatherleaf fern, so giant leatherleaf fern.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Yeah.
That just really takes me back to the Jurassic period.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then what are the with the red flowers? What are those plants?
That's fire spike.
Fire spike.
So
okay.
you know, it loves the heat, and when cuttings hit the ground on fire spike, they would take off. So it kind of laid down a branch, air layer itself in, you know, new fire spike plants in different areas.
Do you have to work a little bit to keep it contained?
Yeah.
Is it that kind of a?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is just great.
Yeah.
I wish I saw more of this in Florida, because that's great.
Yeah, that it's like chartreuse color.
So is this the same plant as what's up there?
Those are crotons behind it in the front.
Those
this
are
is
crotons.
Sanchesia.
Sanchesia, okay.
Yeah, loves moisture. You know, we're in kind of one of those spots right here. One of the screw pines back here has those fruits that are.
Oh my God.
Kind of look like pineapples. Some of them are found along river banks.
Okay.
So a spot by the pond here is fitting for it.
And this is asparagus.
Yes.
Right? So is that?
Yes. That is a cultivar they call foxtail asparagus fern.
But is it actually related to asparagus?
Yes, it is.
That's so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when asparagus lets itself go, but into a very cute little ferny shrub. I love it.
Our rainbow eucalyptus is, I mean, this is one of the highlights of Sunken Gardens is this tree.
Yeah.
It's about 90 feet tall, and the tree maybe is less than 20 years old.
Wow.
Very fast grower. It loves water, so again, we're down here.
Perfect place.
Perfect place.
Wow, yeah.
It has that exfoliating bark. When
oh my gosh.
Each new layer of bark that comes off, you get different colors on the tree.
Wow, I can't believe that's 20 years old.
Yeah.
That is just immaculate.
Yeah. So I'd liked the underplanting here of just going green underneath the rainbow eucalyptus, so it showcases it more. But behind it is more of our collection of crotons, which is very colorful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
So I know at one time this was crotons, but I'm glad we replanted it with some palms and Fatsia japonica behind it there.
Is that a camellia?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So yeah, the camellias, gardenias, azaleas, those were what the Turners were known for, and you know, we kept those plants in here, and they're real important to the the history of gardens.
Awesome.
In our wall of bougainvillea here that Turners planted, you know, about 70 years ago, they planted it all around the perimeter of the garden here. You know, I think it was a way to maybe keep some unwanted guests out, but also just to be able to not just have the garden walled in by a brick wall, but to have the garden walled in by plants. Back here, it's actually affixed to telephone poles and cable.
And so what we're seeing is actually just the bracts, right?
Yeah.
So does that mean that they're always this colorful?
This time of the year is our bougainvillea season. In the summertime, we have fewer blooms, but no, once the daylight shortens, that's when the bracts will start to grow in November.
Well, Sean, thank you. This has been such a wonderful kind of, tour through the Sunken Gardens and sharing your tropical plants. It blows my mind. They're just so beautiful.
Yeah, I'm glad you came by to check it out.